Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to your debut season opener for RGL Season 5 Invites. I'm Sam Blast. Joined to me, I have Jarrett. We got Dolphin on production. I had no idea I was cast this match about 5 minutes ago, but hey, we're here with Season 5. Pretty cool. Jarrett, what's up, dude? How you doing?
Pretty good. Should be a pretty hype season. After the shuffles go down, you kind of, you're a little bit curious about where the cards are going to fall, how competitive is the season going to be. And with 10 teams and a whole lot of talent mixed in between all of them, it should be pretty exciting to see who is going to clinch the playoff spots and who are going to win the very important matches early on. And I say this is probably going to be a pretty important match for both teams, GlobalClan Ice and Witness Gaming, to win if they want to keep a lead early on to maintain the playoff spot they both so desire.
Yeah, I mean, Witness Gaming definitely is a bubble playoff team. Definitely around that 5th and 6th mark, just by looking at some of the teams in the preseason, seeing how a lot of these teams are going to be ending up. Obviously, GlobalClan Ice being the second part of which is kind of cool. We have two global clans. We have the Ice team and the Fire team. The Fire team consisting of the Lol Guy team from last season, pretty much. But the GlobalClan Ice, however, let's take them through the roster. Very familiar faces from Corsia. Just two different additions to this team. No more Trip, no more Zilly. Out with the old, in with the new Laz and 404. So cleaning up the roster is going to be, you have Yite and Brand Slam on Scout, Ash and Laz on Soldier, Alex on Demo, and 404 rounding it on a Medic. Those are some pretty solid upgrades from last season. Trip and Laz, Trip definitely proved himself last season and showed a ton of potential for being one of the best roamers in the game. But Laz has so much seasoned experience and chemistry with this team, as does 404. And I honestly think at this point, Zilly and 404 are kind of just like a side grade at this point. I think Zilly has come to prove he's one of the best. So.
And playing against them, we have Witness Gaming's new crew they sponsored this season. This is kind of I guess the best way to compare it is kind of a return of Season 3's Dexter's Lab. You have Toy, Exile, and Ether who've been playing together for the past couple seasons now. But in addition, with them playing this season, you have Soapy, who played on Morning Light last season, Rio, who played on Witness Gaming last season, and Logan, who played on Strolling Astronomers all the way back in Season 2. So plenty of invite talent that are coming back this season to try to get a win versus the former grand finalist team, basically, to set themselves well off early on in the competition.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, this match for GlobalClan probably doesn't matter too much as it obviously does for Witness Gaming. Not to speculate on the first match, just because, I mean, you have obviously Tech and GlobalClan Ice are probably going to be your top two teams, just as history probably will repeat itself most seasons. And then you have your third place team, which is up for grabs for My Anime List or GlobalClan Fire. And then you kind of have Witness Gaming. You have I have to dive into a little bit more research, but
Quad Damage.
Yeah, Quad Damage is another one. They've been having a pretty good off season. But again, I think that this fourth spot is going to be pretty close between Witness Gaming and GlobalClan Fire. So this is going to be a big match if Witness Gaming can clinch this W. It's not going to be an easy game for them. This is the first match of the season, but some of these players on this team, did beat this team 2 seasons ago on Sunshine. So I mean, there's definitely an opportunity for an upset to happen again. But I mean, Exile being on Scout is definitely going to be one of the biggest things that raises my brow. Exile, being a demo main for so long, coming into Scout, and immediately in your first invite official, you're playing against people like Brand Slam and Yite, who recently come off a win against Tech, and now they're also, Exile's first match. Like, he's not going to be going in to some easy opponents tonight.
Yep, not quite the exact same thing as playing advanced players, although I'm sure he's willing to prove himself to show that him and his team belong. One thing to point out that you did mention is this is early on in the season. Even though you can kind of look at two teams on paper and kind of gauge which one is better than the other ones, not a whole lot of teams exactly have all of their stuff together. You change up a couple players, it completely changes the dynamic in which in the way that you play. So if there is any time for any sort of upset to happen that you would not expect, early on in the season is definitely somewhere where it could happen. Where you pull out surprises the other team doesn't necessarily know that you're doing quite yet, or you just play to your normal play style. The other team hasn't realized that you play that way because they haven't scrimmed versus you very much. So even though, you look on paper and you see a, previous grand finalist team versus a team that, basically half taken a break off coming from advance, half patched together from other invite teams from seasons before, it doesn't necessarily mean that the favorite on paper is going to be the one that necessarily wins. And I guess that's the whole point of why we're casting this today, is to show you guys who is going to come out on top. We have the predictions coming out, and it seems like people they believe at least a little bit in Witness Gaming that they can pull off. There's some close predictions going on. What about you, Sandless? What are you thinking in terms of what the result is going to be tonight?
I mean, Witness Gaming, this is nothing like the same Witness Gaming from last season, who's had some optimistic wins, especially last season. They did take, a map off of Morning Light last season, pretty much in the very last match of the season for them. They did get a win, which actually was able to blast them into playoffs. But anyway, no more time for predictions. We're actually getting into the first mid of the Season 5 RGL invite. Jared, who do you got your eyes on? I'm actually gonna keep my eye on Logan. We didn't talk too much about this guy, but definitely gonna be one of the biggest up and comers in the invite scene this season.
Yep, his previous invite tenure was on a Season 2 team that did not fare very well. We'll have to see what happens this time. Damage traded across the mid. Nothing too crazy to work off with. Big high bomb coming in from Laz right off the bat to try to do a double soldier bomb onto the medic, and they're able to clean up Toy right off the bat, and killing Exile too. So very, very nice coming out of the blue team. Just got to make sure that their medic stays alive as the rest of the red team. Very weak and not in a good position to be able to do any form of counter initiation. So a very clean initiation. Not have to worry about your medic dying or anything like that. Is able to get this first mid fight and work their way down over to 2 potentially.
Yeah, not the greatest positioning from the scouts on Witness Gaming. Both kind of just gave up the high ground very easily. So Laz got the initial bomb in and did not really get shut down as he was descending. Someone needs to be able to stay on top of the high ground on Snakewater, so when soldiers are descending, they can kind of get punished for their actions. But anyway, here comes a push from Branson. Looks like he's just trying to scout, get some information. Gonna immediately cross back to the right-hand side of his top right. Here comes Alex as well, getting ready to take the Uber through Shutter. Opposite of the gun here, so I want to see who's going to be able to play the point here. Make sure no one gets caught here on the side of Witness Gaming. 404 actually gets blasted away, and Brand Slam's actually going to kill. Interesting sticky choice there from Logan, and Alex is going to fall right away. This is a disaster from GlobalClan Ice, and it's going to be an immediate 3 kills going in favor of Witness Gaming. That's a great trap there, and it wasn't even a trap. 404 just kind of walked on stickies and blew up to the other side of the map, which separated the Uber.
As long as just a carpet on the floor.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, he just walked right on him.
Yep, that's going to be a successful last defense. We'll have to see if they're able to do anything repeating, but it seems like blue team doesn't want to give it up quite yet. They know they have an Uber to be afraid of, but Yite is going to fall to this Uber that comes out, chasing out the rest of the players as they try to escape them all the way back to mid. A couple weak players, 4-4 down to 40 HP. We have Rio trying to clean it up. They're going to duck away into kitchen and make sure he can survive. 4-4 eating a pipe across the map as he tries to get into lower deck. He's going to be a medic down.
Logan is, oh my god, this guy's insane. He just absolutely single-handedly demolished everyone on GlobalClan's air shot into another air shot on the soldier skipping in, and he finds the kill onto 404, absolutely destroying. This is the player that I literally just said you have to keep an eye on throughout the season. He's been consistently grinding pugs, demo reviewing, and becoming an expert of his role, and this is why I think he's going to be one of the hard carries of this team.
Yeah, definitely showing that his previous invite team he was on that didn't fare too well was not necessarily his fault, as he is definitely showing up tonight as not too much time has to pass before they're able to get this Uber and use their Uber ad. Looks like it might be Shutter. They're going ahead and staying centralized in the lobby, buffing up, making sure that they cannot repeat the same mistakes as the previous team as they begin to bust with the Shutter. A little bit of knockback onto the scouts, not able to get the gun quite yet, but they will eventually fall, not too shortened as the soldiers are starting to counter initiation jump onto the side of the flank who's busting through, but they're able to lose a scout.
Soapy Meister, huge bomb from Soapy Meister. That's my boy, let's go. That's a big bomb from Soapy. Interesting play. He actually bombed 2 soldiers up on top of the shed. Laz and Ash both counter jumped away, but then actually did nothing off of those jumps, and then they both got, then the combo, the medic and the heavy just stayed in a little right by the truck and got blown up. But first round going to Witness Gaming, very strong refight, coast to coast there actually. Logan here gonna be a little bit slow on his rollout, showing he's a little upset, shaking his mouth, stay slow. Alex is much faster. Soapy Meister and Exile holding up top of the higher. Again, no scouts up top from Witness Gaming. I don't like this, but again, great initiation from Soapy Meister to body block Laz to actually deny the bomb. They aren't going to lose Logan, though. Alex is going to pick up Exile as well. This is pretty much going to be a loss from Witness Gaming. There's not enough positioning from Witness Gaming. I don't like what the scouts are doing from Witness Gaming. No one is holding up top with them. Like, it was just Soapy up top. We need a scout on the high ground to actually, you know, deny soldiers and create space for other players on the team.
Soapy is going to get picked, try to escape the very last second, but that's going to be a soldier down and might be a little bit of a hole for GlobalClan to kind of work with. They have to cap this, which is the first thing, but they're beginning to work their way into lobby and try to use the fact that there's one less soldier to watch a door to see if they can use that turret advantage. Alex trying to peek a little bit through the doors. Yite tried to work his way in as well as Ash, but they're not able to quite find anything. Counter initiation jump coming from Ether, going to be able to collect Alex in trade for his life, but that's definitely worth it for him. Alex definitely a little bit out of position there as the Uber comes out onto the side of the blue players working the way and able to get the counter pop, but killing Rio, it's not bad as they're able to work their way backwards, but giving up last for that might be a bit too much for them to deal with. So we're trying to jump in, separate everyone. Gonna take a lot of damage, barely live, gonna maybe get the arrow and survive at least for now. Blue players very, very weak. Two collected, another jump coming from Soapy after the arrow, able to collect the medic that he needs to get, and it's just Yite left alive in grass, trying to at least get this demo to make sure that all is not for nothing, but he will not find it. Overall, a very successful fight coming from Witness Gaming, able to make sure they're able to punish the blue team as best they can, and not only is that going to net them 2, it's definitely going to net them mid, and who knows, maybe even 2 with this Uber advantage they're going to build up.
These fights are just going in favor of Witness Gaming. These scrappy fights, like that Uber, like the Alex getting caught there in lobby is unacceptable, especially off a 2-man. That should be an instant back out to 2 and trap things up and watch doors. Not something I'd expect to, you know, little errors like that are very, very uncommon at higher level play, especially from a team of this caliber. Witness Gaming, though, looking to take it through Saul. Soapy Meister looking to get his buff here, but a huge sync bomb from Laz. Gonna absolutely destroy everyone on Witness Gaming. Great play there from Laz to actually completely just neuter this whole push from Witness Gaming. Alex is gonna find the kill into the back line on the Ether, who is in the back, trying to just get behind, make a play. Exile here, I don't agree with him going for a player. He's 44 HP. He's going to find Yite, and now he's going to have a staggered death. Soapy as well. Oh my god, he actually sticks him to death. I mean, if Soapy didn't get that pick there, that would have been a lot worse, but now Witness Gaming will just... Yeah, Witness Gaming just might not be potentially down 2 players here. If they get Exile, it's not the end of the world. Soapy Meister did slow him down a little bit, which they are, so not the end of the world. Exile spawning on the sniper in forward. GlobalClan Ice opting to push Saw here, though.
Yeah, might be difficult for the sniper to actually find any picks unless he stays there forever. The Uber is going to come out very earlier, though, trying to catch people. Have a soldier in cheese. They're not able to quite find a little bit too tunnel vision, and it's actually going to be Alex is probably going to be dying at the end of the day. They're able to collect Toy, which is good for them, but, you know, lost 2 of themselves, so it's only going to be a point collection for now, not necessarily a steamroll. What could have been, you know, pretty sketchy ends up working out okay for them. Just, you know, a couple big risks taken there that ended up working out. But overall, going to be an Uber ad that they have to work with. Toy's not even quite up yet as they begin to go ahead and pull out the whole engineer at spawn and try to work on their defenses. They, you know, pretty sizable 50% ad, definitely something that they can work with, and we'll have to see if Logan's trap is going to be a thorn on their side once again, or if they're going to be able to, you know, try to change things up and make sure that doesn't screw them over this time.
Yeah, I mean, 404 and the company are definitely going to be playing off the Super ad here. Brand Slam trying to find all the traps, does find the bucket or the barrel trap, almost gets blind dead on. But it looks like they're going to take this in straight through lower here. They don't know where the gun is. It's on the left. It's going to be a very early pop through the doorway. Logan actually might be caught here. Going to overextend just a little bit. Overstay his welcome. Ash is going to actually fall though from the Rio sniper off class. We have Alex overextending on the truck here. Yite going to be hitting a couple big shots here with Brand Slam. Going to find kills of their own. It's all down to Toy, all by them lonesome. And that's going to be a 1-1 so far. Great cleanup from the scouts there on GlobalClan. It was looking a little bit grim as soon as Alex got caught on the truck there, as he got caught trying to spawn camp. But Brand Slam and Yite played the cleanup crew just enough to close out that round.
Yep, got a tied game here, but one thing that is not tied is the mids so far have been pretty dominantly in GlobalClan's favor. Still have to see if Witness Game is able to pull out anything different in terms of, like you were saying, scouts on the high ground to see if they're able to take a mid win this time. Another high bomb coming in from Last to try to create a distraction. Double bomb coming in on the demo this time, and Logan's gonna instantly melt. Gonna lose their soldier, but that's pretty much expected. Both scouts in the red, very, very weak. Arrows across the board as the entire red team is pretty much bunched in their saw. draw, trying to eventually get a little bit of space, but blue team not necessarily pushing. They want to definitely take the slow, use the advantage they have. There's no demo man. You cannot fight very easily slow pace when you don't have a demo man. Sort of bombing in, trying to collect a pick onto 4-4, gonna land a 50 damage rocket, not that much. Second one coming in, gonna hit the wall shot. That's gonna be enough for Ether to collect that kill onto 4-4. So what could have been a pretty good mid from GlobalClan, eventually salvaged by Witness Gaming. I mean, in terms of winning the fight, they didn't get mid, but I mean, they have an ad right now to take it right back. So is it a win? Is it not a win? And who can really say? But either way, the solution right now, or the situation right now, is they have their medic alive, which is, you know, definitely important for this upcoming push to make sure they can finally take the middle point back right after this mid.
I mean, I'm telling you, man, one scout just needs to stay on the high ground. That's the second time where I've seen Exile or Rio on the bottom of the mid this whole time. Here comes the Uber, not going to find anything. Exile, or Alex actually is going to barely make it out alive. Ash on 5 HP as well. Not a single frag coming out of this Uber, which is fine. It goes into a leapfrog situation. Toy's probably going to be able to get to about 40 to 50% Uber here before GlobalClan is able to push here. And there's enough spam to force the Uber. In a perfect world, Toy could probably get between 75-85% Uber, then opt to refight through a different doorway here. Just depends how good the spam is, which Soapy's already taking the initiative and spamming on Catwalk here. GlobalClan is getting ready to push through Catwalk. Here they come through. Big bomb from Ether. Actually going to land right onto Alex. Alex is going to not create or barely survive that bomb here. And Witness Gaming is going to just cut their losses, back it on up, and hold their 2 here. Probably going to see a sack here from Laz or Ash sometime here soon. It might be Laz just because he's already full HP and lower. Nope, they're actually going to just opt to wait and let Ether get forwards before they sack. Actually, they're coming into dry lower here already.
Yeah, Laz jumping in.
Oh, that's so unlucky that Exile did not have good vision of lower there. Exile was sitting on the point and Laz was able to just walk it in. Toy not in the best position either. Kind of just sitting by the train, didn't have any vision of the bomb. GlobalClan's completely in for free through Saw. And Ether is going to fall. Soapy's going to fall. Exile trying to make a hero play behind.
Yeah, Witness Gaming tried to go for a flank, but they're a little bit off. Exile and Soapy tried to go for a play behind, but we're very, very off sync, and it mostly just led to them feeding. So now, a lot of huge positional advantage for the blue team to go ahead and use this Uber to take tons and tons of space and just get on the point. That little bit of a mishap is going to lead them into a bad scenario where they can't even defend their own last. So bad play leads all the way to a straight up round, and GlobalClan once again take the lead. But on to another mid fight we go. Whether or not you could say Witness Gaming won or lost the last mid is kind of up in the air, but point being, the actual first cap has gone to GlobalClan every single time, so we'll have to see what happens this time if the train keeps rolling, if it swaps around.
I mean, again, Exile is up top on the first start of this mid. Now here comes the bombs again. Right onto the head of Logan, completely caught. No one was able to peel for him early enough. He is going to live, however, but the health is finally going in favor of Witness Gaming. A little bit of unsynced bombs there from Laz and Ash is going to kind of, they both had 2 different targets. One landed on a 260 health demo man and couldn't get the 3 rocket off. The other one landed on a soldier and couldn't find the kill. That's going to just allow Witness Gaming to completely plow through here and shut down Bats. Logan already super deep, destroying Ash and actually going to find the kill on Ash. Logan is playing incredible this series so far. But Yite is on a very early sniper swap here. No one knows about it yet. They're trying to peek from Bats here. This could be pretty devastating if Yite is able to peek. Bats here, they do know about him now. He did make the shot. Soapy gonna try and bomb, gonna mess up his speed shot in.
Yeah, a pipe or something. Stalled him straight up, but ultimately, stalemate time. No gun or anything, just a sniper, so you don't have tons and tons of pressure for total coverage of your last, but if you're very confident about the doors that you're holding, you don't necessarily need it, although they are going ahead and deciding to opt for the sentry gun because, you know, might as well. You can just switch off if you need to go back to scout. It's not really that much of a big deal. So we'll have to see what Witness Gaming does here to try to break this the best they can. They know the sniper and the demo man are on the same side of the map. Might try to opt for something that looks like lower is going to be at least the play for now as they begin to peek around, but gun's still there. Can't necessarily just run straight into that gun. Going to be a little bit of a soldier brawl happening in lower. Ether down to 22 HP is going to successfully survive, so it's not going to be a straight up garbage sack. They actually get their chance to buff up and try to actually do something. Gotten a little bit of information. They know the gun is in lower and the demo and sniper over on the right side might be a drop down play in my eyes. We'll have to see what they ultimately decide to do. Still seems like they're probably talking about it, trying to figure out what they want to do. No one's really peeking any doorways quite yet. Still have to buff up. So far, all the doorway peeks they've done so far has not really led to anything. But in due time, they have a lot of time to work with, and it's a gun and a sniper for all things considered. So another soldier ball happening in drop down this time. Traded spam, but nothing committing. It looks like Witness Gaming is definitely the type of team that doesn't want to just send in garbage sacks. They want to make sure their deaths actually mean something and it's actually some sort of good play. It seems like it's going to be a little bit of a spam war in lower. It seems like they're trading the doors where the soldier spam happens nonstop, but I agree with Ether's sentiment that this gun definitely has to go down, but he's a little bit alone, doesn't really have a whole lot of help, so one bomb will finally get that soldier kill collected, and blue team is in the driver's seat to counter-sack if they so desire. Ash is on the move, working his way towards bats. He's gonna maybe bust through, depending. Seems like a lot of damage on Soapy. He almost died, landed on the stairs, not quite get crater damage, but ultimately I don't think GlobalClan Ice saw anything to really go off of that would actually lead to anything as well. Both teams opting to not just die for no reason. I definitely want every single death to be worth it and some good play they see, not just because you're supposed to.
I don't know if Ether already got cleared on Spy. He is trying to get in through lower, and Laz kind of hit him with a spam rock. It looks like he did make it in clean. No active suspicions yet. 404 is in a pretty tough spot to get stabbed in. I think the engineer might be the pick here. It looks like that's what Ether's getting ready to try and go for. Just because he's kind of looking on the point. Brand Slam's kind of just sitting on top of his gun.
404's calling Spy.
Yeah, I mean, and it looks like it might be Alex here. I don't know. Oh, he is probably going to get the stab onto Alex here. That's a good trade. That's a pretty big pick for Witness Gaming here. Here comes the double soldier spam top left for GlobalClan. It looks like, I don't know why Exile is trying to sack there. That is not his job. And 3 picks, and especially the demo. Yite actually going to pretty much just barrel through these doorways, get onto Toy completely uncontested. It's all up to Rio. Rio could get 2 kills here. I think Rio should try and create some chaos and go behind, just let Toy get out and heal Ether. But full ad coming out of GlobalClan. But look at Ether here again. He's actually on Soldier, getting in completely through lower, uncontested. He's actually completely in right now. There's Laz at last, though. That's the only player. And Laz is actually...
Might be the MG.
Yeah, Laz sees him. It's going to be a 1v1. Ether versus Laz. Huge rocket. Come on, big rockets. Big rockets from Ether, but the team cannot hold it down. He's going to hit the air shot. Ash is going to try and help avenge his boy's death. Still got some stink water. Last MGE here. I'm focused in on this. This is amazing. And Ash is just going to tell not be interested. Ether tactically taking fall damage to 1 HP. Don't know if that was intended. Probably wasn't. But we'll just say it was because it sounds really cool that he knew he would have 1 HP after the fall.
Yeah, definitely have to make sure that he's able to do something behind right now. His team has an Uber ad to work with after they've lost mid from all the chaos that's been happening. So seems like Catwalk is going to be the play for Witness Gaming as they burst their way through. Some counter initiation coming in. Ether is going to die behind, so he's not able to find the mark he needs to. But Alex does die, so no stickies on the board is going to be nice for the side of Witness Gaming. They haven't even popped yet.
I don't like this.
They might go now, though. They're beginning to barrel through, getting onto the soldier and try to drop them as low as they can. Not able to quite finally able to clean him up as Rio still trying to run the train through, but disconnected a little bit. Gets a little bit too greedy and is going to ultimately die. So probably bit up a little bit more than they can chew. Trying to collect this soldier kill, but not able to quite find the mark. Laz extremely low, and Logan is going to die as well. Uber will get forced air shot coming in onto Ether to clean him up, and it appears that overall the play to retake mid is not going to work out too well for them, especially because not only do they not get to keep it, but there's going to be some denied spawns here in the form of Logan and Ether they have to work against, and it's just Exile and forwards really to try to salvage anything, and they see it, and they're not even going through lower. They're going through through Saw. So Soapy is going to die some spam. It's not going to be good for them. Ultimately going to be down a person in this hole, and we're back to where we started. Oh, Logan dying? What did he just get? Okay, I guess he just immediately dead. Both Doman on the board are going to be dead as they begin to try to rush through the blue team, working into this left side. They have a scout a little bit too deep, and Brand Slam is going to be dying, which is unfortunate for them. A little bit of mistiming, but a little bit of a server lag, but the fight still continues on. Only 2 people left alive on the side of both teams. A little bit of some ulti duo, except one of them's a scout. But you do have respawners on the side of red. Logan coming into the fray, and I'm pretty sure that, yeah, GlobalClan is going to back up. A little bit of a scrappy fight that went very, very quick. More fast than I expected in terms of initiation and the kills, but either way, no scouts on the side of Witness Gaming means you can't necessarily push off of the damage you have. But Yite going in for another sack right after that is going to be able to successfully get the force. Down 3 for that. They're able to collect 1 kill, which is okay, but 4-4, counter pop, a little bit too deep into side lobby, so it's not really going to be the Uber to add you want. Actually, you're down 3 players, which is not good. Alex doesn't have traps up at any of the doors, he had to jump away to make sure he lived, and Witness Gaming, you're in a pretty good spot to at least peek some doors and see if it looks good, and with only 3 people in front of you, it looks like it's going to be something they're going to try to do. Sophie's going in all the way, Sandblast, trying to put some damage onto Alex.exe as they're pushed all the way back into their grass.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a big fight. This is going to see how the scouts from both teams are going to try and clean this up here. It is going to be a 3v3 here. Both scouts from Witness Gaming are going to fall. Alex is actually going to make quick work of Soapy and Exile, Rio, respectively. And now it's all up to Ether to try and slow this push down as much as possible. But Alex and Brand Slam, fully buffed, fully healed. Here come the spawners. No, it's doable. Oh, but Exile catching that pipe from Alex might be the nail in the coffin, and a 3-1 half from GlobalClan. Looking dominant towards the second half of this first half. But, I mean, Witness Gaming is showing signs of life. I mean, they're pushing off of their last to the other team's last. There's so many opportunities for Witness Gaming to capitalize on certain things. Like, for example, that Uber that Rio took on mid when it was 4v4. I believe they killed Alex, and then they got traded for 2. Then they found another kill. But they also had, they were only pushing off 20 ad. They should have just, respected Uber ads, respected that it was even, get the spawns and just run sacks, because a play like that can turn into a disaster like how it did. They ended up losing that fight and getting pushed back to their second. But I mean, frags are practically even right now. I mean, GlobalClan Ice pumping out a little bit more damage. Yite being the top fragger. Ash having a little rough game, 3-14, but I mean, he's on the board making space. The space created, he'd be up there. I mean, not a lot of bad performances from Witness Gaming, I will say. I mean, everyone's individually doing a pretty solid job, especially Logan, absolutely tearing it up for his team. The only thing I'm worried about here is that if GlobalClan understands that Logan is a big threat, he's doing a lot of damage, pumping out a lot of frags, getting positioning. If he starts getting focused down and, taking out of fights earlier, this could turn pretty sour for Witness Gaming pretty quickly. I want to see Exile get more involved in a lot of these team fights. I mean, he's not really putting out a ton of damage. He's, unlike Yite. Yite has more kills, less deaths, more damage. And he's still being tied around the beam. He's taking 171 heals per minute. It's 33 heals per minute than Exile, which doesn't seem like a lot, but on paper, those are those scrappy team fights where Exile isn't back with the beam and isn't linking with the combo and isn't doing that stuff, while Exile, while Yite is rather, while Exile's kind of just in his own world in these little scrappy fights. But yep. I need to see a little bit more coordination coming out of Exile, linking up with the team. Ether's had a couple big impact moments, but what are you thinking, Jarrett?
I think it definitely shows the difference when it's a team that has already played for the most part a season together, versus a team that is much more new or at least to invite. They're not move ups per se, and a couple of them, at least 3 of Witness Gaming, have been playing together for a bit, but they kind of took a break off of serious competition and played in the div below. So I think the synergy coming out of GlobalClan whenever they try to do something has much more consistency whenever I see Witness Gaming try to actually do a play. I think the first play that I ever saw Witness Gaming try to do was very, very off sync, so off sync that it actually pretty much cost them a round because their flank completely died, which means it was just point after point free. So it's definitely playing a big factor into that. There are signs of life, though, from both these teams in rounds where things might not be going their way, for both teams respectively. These rounds haven't been complete, conversions where it's oh, whoever won mid, won right, mid to last. There have been a lot of back and forth going between the maps and teams making plays to try to retake the ground. One thing to keep in mind is because the mids have been very, very GlobalClan Ice dominant, and they've been collecting rounds, I wonder how much things will change when this teeter-tottering of going back and forth between territory starts with Witness Gaming winning more mids. Because if they can do that and this back and forth happens on the other side of the map, it might be easier for them to actually get these round conversions more often, to be able to take the lead back rather than, being pushed to your last at the start of every game, like spare one, or every round spare one, rather. So one thing to be thinking about, although, like you said, Logan is definitely the person that's performing in the upper tiers when it compares, compare all of his teammates together. Not only is he putting out the most damage, but he's also collecting the most kills as Demoman. So I'm pretty sure that GlobalClan Ice can see that, and if they feel like that he needs to be pushed back a little bit and focused a little bit more so he's not able to perform as well, then it kind of puts some other teammates in the driver's seat to be able to perform. And so far, I don't know if they're going to be the ones that are going to be able to perform and get rounds for them. It's yet to be seen. Very early on in the season, so we don't really know who the all-star players are and all these team dynamics quite yet with all the shuffles. So one thing to think about and one thing to keep our eyes on for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if there's one thing I'd want to see different from Witness Gaming is just pretty much just the mids, man. It's just the mids. I mean,
they've been adapting a little bit. I've noticed they've been playing further back more and more. I think that's actually how they won the last mid, like actually take the first cap. Is I think they've realized that it's a double soldier bomb from GlobalClan Ice every single time. So if you just make sure that none of your players can die to it, then you'll be able to try to farm the soldiers. Obviously, GlobalClan Ice can adapt to the best of their ability and make sure that doesn't end up being a recurring theme. But we are going live, so I guess we're going to see exactly what changes between these mid fights and who will take the first mid of the second half.
I mean, only down by 2 rounds. I've seen bigger comeback. Soapymeister here, looking to start his mid on top of the shack, gonna do a big bomb behind. I need to see him react right now. Exile and Eth are gonna find frags of their own. Soapymeister right onto Alex and gonna find that kill. 404 is completely caught. 20 HP. A brand slam, trying to just find any kill. Ether, big mid from the soldier. Soapymeister and Ether kind of did a lot of the heavy lifting. Soapymeister cut off the exit from Alex, able to cut him off and spread a little bit more damage to Brand Slam and 404 to make sure they weren't able to get out here. And this is going to result in a full ad coming out from Witness Gaming. I mean, I want to see how they really push this last tier again. They had a really good last push last time. Soapy had some really good positioning and had some really good decision making, kind of off the fly. Yite is going to be building a gun on his top left side of last, respectively. It looks like Witness Gaming is prepping inside a lobby to get in to go top right. It looks like Rio, Logan getting buffed, Ether, the flank getting buffed now. Here they go, gonna probably lead on the scout here. Here goes Rio. Gun's gonna probably go down pretty quickly here. Rio, I don't really know what he's waiting for. He's finally going forward here. There's no point play yet. Now he's gonna get the point. Joy is gonna get bombed, but actually no value coming out of that bomb from Lads. But Logan is completely caught in no man's land. I don't really know what Rio's doing with this buff here. Kind of just sitting on his own side of the last here and gonna get 2 shot by Yite, but Exile gonna come out and trade that kill. And very poor decision making coming out from Rio there. Kind of took his 185 and didn't initiate with it. Kind of just sat top right, waited for things to overextend, but nothing overextended.
Yeah, team got the gun, but not much after that. Player after player after player fell, and Toy is going to get extended. Had a 1 second spawn timer left, so not able to buff his team up at mid, and that's going to be pretty easy for GlobalClan to try to peek these doors with their better health and not necessarily try to use right off the bat. There is a sniper to be careful about. Not sure if he's shown his diet quite yet, but they're going cat and kitchen, it appears like, in terms of splitting up the team. So Ash eating a trap that Logan set up like not even deep at all on the log. So Soapy going in for a play, trying to collect some frags, but 2 people in kitchen is not going to be enough for him to deal with. So sniper still in forwards, trying to take off some shots, but they finally reach the way to the other side of the map to make sure they have it locked down. Play trying to come in from Ether, but I think he's realized it's a little bit too much for him, trying to escape out lower best he can. Very low at 11 HP is going to clean up by Brand Slam. So still, we have a domino effect of players dying and dying and dying, and so far things are not looking up for Witness Gaming right now. They almost have the Uber. It's not, you don't have it quite yet, but you also don't have a whole lot of players left alive to be able to lock down this positioning. GlobalClan Ice able to get through grass very easily when they have their own Uber to work with. Might be an exchange, have a soldier down. It's going to be a double soldier bomb coming in, 1 a fake, 1 commit. Logan gets really weak, but not a whole lot of extra committing going on. Rio will finally die to Ash as the rest of the team is beginning to work their way out of grass. The red Uber will get forced. They barrel their way into grass and try to get onto these scouts the best they can, try to clean them up. Soapy definitely committing for the scout, but not able to find the mark, and that is going to be a pretty nice play from GlobalClan Ice. Ether is behind, hiding lower, not really going for a play quite yet. He might try to block, but there's a little bit of some stacking going on. He's going to try to go onto the scout off the bat. He is going to be able to kill him, not able to quite find anything else, so it's going to buy a small amount of time. It'll allow Exile and Soapy to be able to get up and actually hold last, but the rest of the team's kind of in lobby. They're buying even more time. Another trap kill by Logan, definitely slowing down GlobalClan Ice by eons, and what could have been a potential uber ad push straight into last is slowly dwindling. Their ad is still usable, but it's just not as big. It's only 50%, but working their way through lower against a very aggressive demo man out of position. Logan not able to get away in time, and Toy is also going to get caught on the side of the truck. There's no defense, there's no heavy, there's no NG, there's no nothing, there's no red team at this point. It's just scouts left alive. Rio, the last one, trying to work his way on the point, but the melee is going to be out, and that is going to be a collected round for GlobalClan Ice. That was really nice all the way up to the very end. They play after play worked. They stopped the cap, they got that pick in lobby, and then they were just a little bit too greedy and just died to the Uber.
Yeah, Brand slamming in there on the 10 kill streak. Played his role perfectly there. Positioning, team fights, everything was played to a T there. But I mean, what Witness Gaming is knocking on death's door right now. They're on their first match live here to see if they go down 0-1 or up 1-0. Rio, again, this positioning from GlobalClan or Witness Gaming scouts are just so bar. I mean, GlobalClan had much better positioning at the first half of the mid up top with their scouts. Ether going to land right on the 4-4. He is going to get a nice rocket off, and Toy actually very weak, caught in their own kitchen here, and Laz caught behind as well. Toy surfing every rocket right now, but Laz actually is in the perfect spot here. He is going to jump up the window. He is going to kill Logan instead, but I think Toy should still be caught here.
Uber will force.
Yeah, they will force. Exile is going to collect the kill, and
some good adjusting. I think GlobalClan Ice have finally realized that Witness Gaming are just pretty much playing passive, and the double soldier bomb strat is not going to work. So the minute they change up their strategy and not immediately double bomb in, Laz and Ash are able to go back to winning the mid, and this could be a round conversion for them if this last push ends up going okay. They finally capped up too. You have the red team go ahead and building up their sentry gun sniper combination as blue team tries to work their way into lobby to see where things are and figure out which door they want to go. They have a lot of time to work with still, and it appears they're poking through the left door a little bit to see what's what, but I don't know if they're going to opt for it or not. I don't know if they've seen this sniper that's at truck quite yet. I don't know if they actually saw it. But either way, going through shutter, which is a very staple way to push, busting through, Sticky's moved away, getting onto the gun right off the bat, and that is going to fall. Working way onto a soldier. Ether very weak, trying to chase him down and collect that kill. They will, but a lot of damage being traded over by the truck side. Initiation coming in onto the spawns is going to collect Soapy as well, so no soldiers on the side of the red team. This could be the end of Witness Gaming's match as they are down 3. They've collected soldiers in turn, but only Logan and Toy left alive is not going to be enough to take down GlobalClan Ice, who have already took so much positioning. So overall, that is a 1 game for GlobalClan Ice. Witness Gaming got some rounds on the board and showed some signs of life, but at the end of the day, it was not quite enough to get their first win of the season.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think really anyone thought that GlobalClan Ice was going to lose. It was nice seeing the first round go to Witness Gaming. It was a nice little touch to the start of the season, but not a bad performance from either team. I mean, definitely that second half was quite a big letdown from Witness Gaming. They kind of just seemed like they were shut down. It was honestly pretty much just a brand slam versus the world right there. He was kind of had full control in that second half. Had an amazing last 2 rounds there to close out the match. I mean, I want to see the stats combined here. I'm sure Dolphin will get them pulled up here shortly. But I mean, yeah, I just think that really just came down to a big difference of like the combo. I mean, like the experience, like the main calling capabilities from GlobalClan kind of just completely outshined, especially in that second half. You saw it from the team fights to the Uber calls to the positioning. That GlobalClan seemed like they were not just 1, but almost 2 steps ahead towards that. And I mean, that's what you get when you're playing against a second place team. This is the same group of people who were taking maps off Froyo. So hopefully, come later in the season, Witness Gaming, they learn from, their small minor flaws that they have on this map, and they can translate it to become, a stronger team and become one of the front runners for playoffs. I mean, they're definitely obviously still in the playoff race. I still think it's going to be a close race but mainly between Witness Gaming and GlobalClan Fire. But other than that, I mean, I'm going to pull up the stats here, Joe. You got anything you want to talk about?
Now, ultimately, I don't think the loss should be too bad for them, because if you think about it, if this is supposed to be the second place team, then you don't necessarily have to beat the second place team to get into the playoff running. Your playoff dreams are on your wins and losses versus the teams that also are on the bubble and trying to make sure they get fourth and third seed and not fifth and sixth seeds. So I would say that getting 2 rounds right off the bat getting around right off the bat to against a team that, like you said, beat Froyo, made grand finals last season with a couple roster changes, is pretty good. So it should be interesting to see how they grow and play against some of these other teams that are desperately trying to work their way into playoffs.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's still a lot more to talk about. Yeah, we're still working on getting stats up here, guys. But, I mean, other than that, I mean, just a pretty dominant win coming out of GlobalClan. It's still proven that, even after the offseason, against one of the more mid-table teams in Invite, I'd say, I would still think that, this is probably, the dead center of mid-Invite is Witness Gaming. I mean, the teams below them, you have, like, the Nest, you have Quad Damage, you have, I believe there's another team I'm trying to think of. I just can't think of the
Crondrome?
Yeah, Crondrome are definitely going to be, like, the, probably the lower table, the lower quarter of the Invite scene. And, you have then, like, for your mids and upper mids, you have, like, My Enemy List, you have GlobalClan Fire, you have Witness Gaming, who we just saw, and potentially Quad Damage. I mean, Quad Damage was showing some really good potential against some higher level teams in the preseason scrims, and I hope that they can translate that into the regular season.
There's the Pudis.org team as well. There's 10 teams. There's 10 teams in Invite this season.
That could be another solid mid-table team as well. I mean, the playoff race could kind of swing in a lot of different directions here.
That's the interesting thing about this season in particular, is if you show, like, isolate one of the rosters randomly and you're like, hey, look at these players, do you think that they could play playoffs? You could probably look at like 6 of these rosters and be like, yeah, okay, I could see them in playoffs, I guess. There's only 4 slots, so there's going to be some teams that get shafted, and that's where kind of comes into, you definitely want to win all of your important matches ASAP. You can't you can't let yourself get upset, lost, like, at all. You have to take every single inch that you can to make sure that you make playoffs, even if you think that you're a playoff caliber player, because all bets are off. Everyone's out this season. Everyone's trying to make their way in, and it should be pretty exciting to see who ultimately takes the spots.
Yeah, man. I mean, typically you have like a 9-season invite where each team plays each other twice. Obviously, we had some qualifiers that I think that they could have been done a little bit more efficiently, because I think HRT was kind of scammed out of their invite debut from getting second in advance. I think that's a little.
They're an invite.
HRT?
Yep.
Oh wow. I thought it was like
a
Luddy team.
2 teams gotten out of the 3. Yeah, there's 10 teams. There's a lot of teams in invite.
Yeah, that was the Portland Burnsiders. Yeah, I forgot.
You're gonna see a lot of teams cycled throughout here. This is probably gonna be one of the harder seasons as a viewer to keep track of, like, okay, which team is which team is playing, who's on what, because there's a lot of variables to keep in mind. But you don't have to worry. We'll be covering them all. Well, not all of them, but as many as we can.
The higher profile we will try to, obviously, definitely the more playoff potential, the more even head-to-head games, not just like Froyo versus like a new team. But anyway, other than that, so if you guys want to see the logs, I believe Logs.tf is having some trouble loading the combined stats, so you guys can just do a little bit of research. I'm sure they'll refresh eventually. You guys can just find that on logs. But other than that, that's pretty much it for the night. Thank you guys for tuning in to the very first RGL Season 5 match. We have a ton more coming up. I don't know if I'll be on here again. Probably, maybe. Playing a lot of Tarkov. Jared, do you have anything else you want to shout out?
Catch us tomorrow. I think tomorrow's match I'm casting Froyo versus GlobalClan Ice or something like that. So it should be a pretty hype match, because it's a spared a couple players. It's a repeat of last season's grand finals, and you get a sneak peek into how the roster shuffles of both the grand finalist teams put them right off the bat against each other. So should be fun to see.
Yeah, man. I guess shout out Dolphin, man on the camera. Shout out to Jarrett. Shout out to all the teams this season. A lot of move ups, a lot of people who bit the bullet, and we actually had one extra. You know, we snuck one in somehow, which is interesting. So definitely going to be a more tougher season for the. This could be a potentially a 3-team playoff race, but shout out to my biggest fan, Soapy Meister. Other than that, that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys tomorrow. If I'm there, maybe. Jarrett's already on the coverage. If I'm not, sorry, but if I am, that's pretty cool. Very big match tomorrow. GlobalClan Ice versus Frey, 11 o'clock Eastern tomorrow. Be there. RGL signing off, guys. Good games.